Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today our discussion will be about the UPSC interview, how to prepare for UPSC interview. So as you all know, interview is one of the most interesting and one of the crucial aspects of your preparation in your journey of civil services. We usually think about the interview only when it's very close by to the interview, like after our mains examination, after we have qualified. It is only then that we usually think about the interview and start preparing for it. But then I have a belief that if you are keeping the interview in your mind from the beginning of your journey, you will be aligning a lot of aspects of your personality. You will be more aware and more considerate of the facts of how to mold your personality in a direction of helping you attend your UPSC interview better. So like any other interview, this is also not just assessing your technical skills or your skills in the subjects that you have learned, but it's about your personality. So we don't call it interview itself in the UPSC realm, we call it the personality test. So it's a test of your complete personality as a human being, how you are as an officer, how you will be. These are the things that are really being assessed. So my intention is to provide the beginners and the people who are new to the journey of civil services a clarity as to what are the maybe the basic details of interview that one should be aware of, and so that you wouldn't be in a state of shock or in a state of disappointment when it comes to preparing for interview whenever you really have to do it. So let me begin with the detail that you need to fill a detailed application form just before your interview, which will become the Bible for the UPSC board for questioning you to get to know more about you, etc. So they will all have this detailed application form that you have filled with them to ask you further questions on different aspects that you yourself have written down. So, as you would generally feel, they are not asking random questions. They will mostly stick to what aspects of your personality, what aspects of your development you have written down in the detailed application form. It's called the detailed application form 2 because you fill the detailed application form 1 before your main examination after the preliminary examination. So the I will just tell you what are the basic details that you usually fill in the detailed application form. So you begin with your personal details like your name, your address, your parents, jobs, your annual income, etc. So from here, what happens is you will mostly have questions with relation to your region. For example, my region is Kerala. So from Kerala, my district can be a question. My place of birth can be a question. My the job and the profiles of my parents can be a question. Understanding all of these aspects or being aware of where you come from is considered to be one of the crucial aspects. They'll be more curious to know about places. If there is something famous about your place, you should be knowing, and or in general they will ask you to name and to point out the important unique features of the place that you belong to. So you should be ready with it, and maybe about your parents and all your maybe they may ask you about your siblings, and it can be very very personal with respect to those areas of questioning. And then you will have to mention all the educational qualifications that you have. They will ask you for the stream that you have chosen, the marks that you have gotten, your the subjects that you have learned during the stream of study, that has to be mentioned, and also the institution from which you learned and the board and the university from which you have passed out, that also has to be mentioned. So from here, as you can imagine, so I have told you in the previous videos as well, you have to take your graduation subjects, your post graduation subjects, your school subjects very seriously, because they will be more interested in knowing about what did you learn from the subject that you have learned. Are you strong with the subjects that you've chosen for yourself, etc. So that's a good aspect of your personality, that you are able to give good clarity about the subjects you have learned. You are not just fishing in the gray waters, you are very deep with the knowledge of your subject. That's a very strong aspect that they expect of your personality. So take your subjects very, very seriously. So that's why I'm pointing it out to you at this point, that as a beginner itself, so that you don't lose the touch with your graduation subject very early on in your learning process. Always keep in touch with the subjects that you have learned. So that is one. Then you have certain very crucial aspects to mention. Like, the first point is prizes, medals, and scholarships that you have gotten at throughout your lifetime till the UPSC interview. So here it is an opportunity for you to filter out almost 5 to 6 important prizes, medals, or scholarships that you have received in school, in college, in university, etc. You have to give a good thought about what are the best ones that you can mention, you can filter out and mention at this point. Always keep that in mind. Now you may not have to fill it, but then keep this point of view in your mind, so that when you are preparing also, you are aware of the what is the end process, what are the things that you will have to mention and filter out finally for the interview process. So whether it's your winnings in the youth festivals, being a best student, or being a best debater, anything of that sort, so which you will be able to talk more about. So if you are writing down something, they'll be really curious, interested to know more about it. So if you are don't make up anything, you have to tell the reality. You have to be very, very aware of what you have done or what you have achieved during your span of studies in school or in college. So that's one. Next is NCCs or sports. NCC or sports is again one crucial aspect. So if you were part of NCC, you can mention that, whether it's A certificate, B certificate, or C certificate, you can mention that. If you were part of sports, you can give a detailed description of which sport you were playing and what level you were playing, etc. So that's one. Then you have to mention the positions of leadership held in school or college. So they have separated it and given it differently, because they consider that positions of leadership are very, very important, because you are going to be a leader, you're going to be an officer. So these officer like qualities that you have shown in as a leader is considered very important. So you again have to filter out. You may not give things which you are not confident about, but then if you have some sort of an experience as a leader at different points of your school or college life, please mention that. Keep that in mind. So it's for you to take up more leadership positions that I'm giving you at this point, so that you don't feel uncomfortable when you have to fill this form, or when questions on those are asked. So they'll definitely ask you questions of what I believe. Next, it is about other extracurricular activities, interests such as hobbies. So here it can be hobby, or it can be your interest, or it can be any other extracurricular activity. So they not have mentioned it particularly hobby only. It can be any interest that you have. For example, I'll just give you a brief idea about what I had written. So I'd written about blogging. So I used to write blogs on a monthly basis, sometimes on a weekly basis, about things that I observe, about the things that I like to express to the world, etc. I used to have a blog post. So blogging was been my primary hobby, and the interview board literally made me write a blog then and there during the interview itself, and I think writing it well has helped me score good marks. So you will be, to an extent of them asking you you to immediately prepare something on your hobby. That is the level of test that they give you. So please be aware that whatever you write down has to be true and to the point and crisp and clear with yourself, so that you are able to convince them about your hobby. So blogging is one thing, and then I've wrote about how I used to watch travel videos. So I used to specifically watch a certain category of travel videos where I get to learn more about the different tourism aspects of other countries which can be implemented in our country. So I used to do that. And I used to read books, but then when you write about book reading, it's a very huge arena. If you write book reading, they can ask you anything and everything. But then if you have a certain category of books that you read, please mention that in particular. So I've written non-fiction books such as memoirs, so that I have a certain category, a number of memoirs in my list, and I am able to like speak about them. And also I'm not a big reader of fiction books, even though I read. You should be strong about whatever you're saying. So I specifically chose non-big fiction books to mention, so that can be done. And also I've written about how I learn about healthy lifestyle. So I'm a person who is enthusiastic about fitness and healthy lifestyle and all, but then I did not write that I'm an expert in in that fields, because I was always learning. I still continue to learn and look at videos and books and whatever is the information that I have in relation to health, I keep on updating and keep on. So I wrote about how I'm learning about healthy lifestyle, not that I'm an expert in healthy lifestyle. So this one of the ways you can adopt. It can be your own interest, but then develop your interests, hobbies at this point of your preparation, because at the time of filling the DAF, you shouldn't be confused and demotivated. So that is the thing about extracurriculars and hobbies. Then you have an area where you have to give your cadre preferences for different across the different states of the country. You Currently we have 5 zones. Different states are categorized into various zones, and there are 5 zones in total, and you have to give a preference across the zones as well as the states in even the within the each zone. For example, in zone 5 is where states like Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh comes in. So you have to give a preference across the states between Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, as well as between different zones. Which zone are you giving the first, second, third preferences to? So that way you can mention that. And also you have to mention whether you are giving a first preference to your home cadre. That can be a yes or no question, which also you have to answer. And then it comes to the most crucial part of giving preference for the services that you have in the civil services. So there are 21 services that you have in civil services. So you have to give a preference from 1 to 21 across these services. So there is no hierarchy that they have mentioned. It can be your own choice, your own preferences. There are different aspects of different services which you need to take into account while filling this. But be aware that there are 21 services. So what mostly happens with people is that when they get to fill this form only, they understand that there are 21 services and which to put at which point of their DAF preparation. That is a very important confusion that everyone will have. But being aware about it at the earliest on in your preparation journey will be really helpful, for you to make wise decisions, not be confused when you really have to fill the DAF. So you can understand that. And I think these are the major aspects of filling the detailed application form. So this becomes the thing for you to understand how to, on what lines to prepare. So once you have filled and submitted this form, you will take a printout of this form, go to each minutest detail of each word you have added to the detailed application form, and you will be preparing on the same lines. So that is how the interview process works. So as I have told you before in previous videos, whether you're in college, whether you are doing a job, etc., try to develop diverse aspects of your personality through various activities, through various opportunities that are provided in school or college or in the job places, so that you will be able to mention it as a worthy achievement that you have, and they'll be able to ask you more questions on it, so that your interview also doesn't divert in various uncomfortable directions. So if you point out things in which you are comfortable in, you can expect more questions. But if you don't mention anything, they can take any direction of questioning. So please understand the importance of the detailed application form. And also I would encourage you also all to keep in touch with your subjects of interest, like your graduation subject, your post graduation subject, or the things that you have learned in school, etc. Please keep in touch. Don't really neglect it, considering it is not important for the interview process, etc. So that way interview becomes one of the crucial aspects of it can make or break your preparation, I would say, your chances of getting in. So a safe zone of marks in the interview will be really appreciated, and increases your scope of clearing the examination. So that's about the interview process. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope your learning process is going on a good pace. So until the next video, you can share any query that you have in the comment section. So until the next time, it's a goodbye from me. Thank you so much.